Do you remember Mega Evolutions, where your favorite Pokemon got to go Super Saiyan and absolutely destroy everything in their path, until Game Freak ripped it right out from under us? Yeah, I remember that too. There were so many cool Pokemon that missed out on this amazing concept, while others for no apparent reason got one. I'm looking at you, Mega Ordino. Since its removal, artists and fans alike have theorized on what it would be like if some of their favorite Pokemon received a Mega Evolution. Let's take a look at some cool Mega Evolution designs. Before we get into these Mega Evolution concepts, YouTube tells me that only 4.3% of people who watch my content are subscribed, so please hit the subscribe button down below and help me on my journey to 1,000 subscribers. So coming up first, we have one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, that being Torkoal. Mega Torkoal would be so sick as a concept. It would see a sizable increase to its physical defense, putting it at a monstrous 160, with increases to its special attack and special defense, while giving it a slight nudge to its speed. For an ability, I would have it have Drought to limit its weakness to water, and I think this is realistic given that it got Drought in the later gens. For its typing, I could see it just remaining a Fire type, but let's give it a Steel type just for some fun, just to bring home the defensive nature of this Pokemon. Competitively, I think this thing would be an absolute beast. Instant Sunsetter is so valuable, plus having access to moves such as Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock, it could easily be a support physical defensive beast. Now, let's talk about Flygon for a bit. The interesting thing with Flygon is that it almost got a Mega Evolution. Ken Sugimura revealed in an article back in 2015 that for the release of Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Flygon was seriously on the table. Unfortunately though for Flygon fans, the artist had a block when creating the design, so it never ended up happening. So now we are just left with what if. Anyways, here is Mega Flygon. I can see a Mega Flygon staying a ground dragon type upon Mega Evolving and getting a sizable increase to both its physical attack to a whopping 140 and a 10 base point increase to its speed, allowing it to outspeed huge threats like Gengar and Garchomp. I would imagine it would retain its Levitate ability given that it's still flying, but I see this being a massive competitive threat. I would like to give it a bug typing, but unfortunately it doesn't really learn any good physical bug type moves to take advantage of this potential stab. So, the Gen 1 starters got Mega Evolutions, followed by the Gen 3 starters. So what about Gen 2? In the next spot we have Mega Meganium, Mega Typhlosion, and Mega Feraligatr. So for all three of these Pokemon, I envision really cool concepts. Let's start with Meganium. Meganium is in desperate need of some help. So upon Mega Evolving, let's give it the Fairy typing to help it counter the Dragon types and have an advantage against Fighting and Dark types. It would see a sizable increase to both defenses becoming 135, while seeing a sizable increase to its physical attack becoming 93. To support it a little bit more, it should have an increased move pool so it can utilize its Fairy typing, so let's give it Play Rough. And for a little bit of a boost, let's give it the ability Thick Fat to limit its weakness to Fire and Ice. For Mega Typhlosion, this thing would be an absolute monster, seeing a massive increase to its base speed becoming 121, with a sizable increase to its special attack becoming 120, with its physical attack matching it, allowing it to be used as a mixed attacker. This thing at 121 base speed would be an absolute machine, firing off stab, full HP eruptions, while taking advantage of physical moves such as Earthquake. For an ability, I had to think really hard about this to not limit this thing's absolute brokenness. So for an ability, let's keep it at Blaze, or maybe give it something like Solar Power. In good conscience, I can't give it Drought or Tough Claws. For Mega Feraligatr, it would see some sizable defensive boost, seeing them both shoot up to 120. It would get a sizable difference to its speed, putting it at 90, and a huge increase to its physical attack while raising its special attack slightly. I could also see it becoming a part Dark type upon Mega Evolving, with it gaining the strong durability upon doing so. This thing would absolutely tear with Priority Aqua Jet, and being able to break down walls such as Chansey and Reuniclus with its Stab, Strong Jaw boosted crunches. Moving on to a more left field choice, I've got one of my top favorite Pokemon of all time being Lanturn. Lanturn is one of those Pokemon that is decent, but just a couple of things hold it back from being awesome. Lanturn with its monstrous HP stat is lacking the defenses to back it up, so upon Mega Evolving, let's help it out. It would gain a healthy boost to its physical defense while getting a massive increase to its special defense, putting it at 106. It would get a great boost to its special attack while retaining its electric water typing upon Mega Evolving. I also think it would retain its Voltorb ability, giving it a nice immunity to electric type moves. With access to Stockpile and Volt Switch, you could easily use Mega Lanturn as a defensive pivot, or using it as a more offensive Pokemon with moves such as Hydro Pump and Thunderbolt. Let's talk about legendaries for a second. Mewtwo got 2 Mega Evolutions. Rayquaza got one as well. So it's not out of the question to give legendaries Mega Evolutions. I for one would think it would be awesome if we had gotten a Mega Ho-Oh and a Mega Lugia. For Ho-Oh, this thing would be an absolute monster upon Mega Evolving. It would retain its Fire Flying dual typing but gain huge boosts to its special defense and its physical attack, both being raised to a monstrous 194 and 170 respectively. This would make it arguably one of the best special defensive Pokemon of all time. Its Sacred Fires as well would absolutely destroy everything in its path. It would retain the Regenerator ability upon Mega Evolving, allowing it to stay around for long periods of time when threatened. For Lugia, this thing would be absolutely broken, becoming the best defensive Pokemon of all time, hands down. Upon Mega Evolving, to keep it more accurate with its lore, it would become a Psychic Water dual typing, allowing it to assume its role as Guardian of the Sea. It would retain its ability Multiscale, making this thing completely busted. With moves such as Calm Mind along with Recover or Roost, this thing would be almost impossible to stop. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Mega Evolutions are and if you'd like me to cover any more that I missed in this video. Take care.